Let's start off with a little information about you and your company. Tell us the company's name and a little bit about what you do, and then I'll ask more questions.
My name is Crystal, and my husband and I own Reliant Aquarium Design. So we design, install, and maintain aquariums all over San Diego County. Yeah.
And when did you start your company?
So it was started in 2008. My husband actually started it independently. He worked on his own, and over the years, it's now grown to what we have now, which is a 7-vehicle fleet, and there's 7 technicians that are out every single day going and servicing aquariums and doing the ins and outs of whatever we need on different installations or projects.
You mentioned that you have 7 vehicles and 7 employees. So when did you first realize that having a telematics camera would be useful? What was the trigger?
There was like a point where we had just 2 vans that were out in the field, and frequently we would find ourselves calling and being like, hey, where are you at? How long have you been at this client for? When can I expect you at the next client? And I got to the point where once we got beyond those 2 vehicles, we knew we were going to use more, and we needed a better way of tracking them. From a standpoint of understanding where my vehicle is. Maybe I have an emergency and I can look on a map and be like, oh, this is exactly where my person is. Or it could be a thing of a client calling saying, hey, you billed me for 2 hours, but he was actually here for like an hour and a half. And so recognizing the need to be able to track our vehicles and understand where they were was really important to us. So it was just a matter of time, I think, before we were like, the phone calls aren't working, and it's not just gonna give us the information that we need in order to be efficient with the company. When
you started off, did you look at the camera as well as the GPS tracker?
Originally, it was just a GPS tracker, and immediately, right away, we noticed a huge change in being able to understand time on site, on jobs that we thought maybe we were only there for a certain amount of time. Another big thing for us is we're a service company driving to and from our clients, and we quickly realized there were so many clients that were not being charged accurately. They were way further out than what we thought, and it was taking longer in travel time. And it was very eye-opening to us because we were like, man, we're not being profitable on these jobs.
And when did you decide to add the camera?
The camera was pretty quick. It was like a day installation of putting them in, so it wasn't a huge undertaking or anything. The people just came and installed them, and it was good to go.
What other information does this whole thing with the cameras give you that you find really useful?
I would say there's a number of things. First off, the time on site. So, when the vehicle stopped at a job location, I'm able to reference that to what they're putting on their invoicing to make sure that everything's being accounted for on billing. So if they write that they were there for an hour, but really their vehicle was there for maybe an hour and 15 minutes, that 15 minutes is a billable time. So I'm able to kind of cross-reference that. Another thing is their vehicle safety. So if someone were to call or have an issue with a driver on the road, I'm quickly able to log in, find out where the vehicle is at. All of our vehicles have numbers on them.
It helps you with training.
Training, yeah, and just being overall, safe drivers. We're out on the road every single day. All of our vans have 100 gallons of water in them, so they're very heavy. So stopping and accelerating is really important to make sure that everyone's doing it safely. It's not just driving around in a small little 4-door car. They are fully equipped with a lot of equipment. Yeah, water's heavy, and then when that container starts to get used throughout the day, when it's full, you don't have that swaying motion, but as they're get down to like 50 gallons, that swaying can really affect the vehicle. So making sure that the technicians are aware of how they're driving and accelerating and braking is really important.
So in terms of numbers, if possible, have you seen that translate into, say, lower insurance premiums?
So I do get a discount on my commercial policy that we carry, knowing that there is cameras on, that there are cameras and GPS trackers on the units.
Now, the story about the stop sign.
Oh,
that
the
you told
stop
me.
sign.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Would you mind?
Yeah, no, not at all. So last week I actually got a call from a lady who was calling to let me know that one of my drivers had just ran a stop sign and she thought it was very unprofessional, and she wanted me to alert me. And of course I was very receiving of her information. I always want people to call when somebody, sees, bad behavior in driving with our vehicles. And so I said, thank you so much for calling. I just so happen to have cameras in all of our vehicles as well as trackers. Where were you at? I was able to pull it up on the map. And I was able to basically disprove that no, he didn't actually run the stop sign. Maybe she didn't get to a clear view of what he did, or maybe she was having a bad day. I don't know, but it was great to be able to pull up the feed immediately as soon as I knew what van it was and the location she was at, and basically disprove it. I was able to call my technician and just say, hey, just so you know, somebody called and said you ran a stop sign, and I was so quick to judge, but I actually pulled up your camera and you didn't stop, or you didn't run the stop sign, you stopped fully. I didn't see anything wrong with it, so I just want to let you know, hey, good job. Keep doing safe driving.
Well, listen, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you'd like to say, or? If not, that's fine.
I just love them. I think overall we've had great success in capturing more billable time. I would say that has been a big plus for us, and also just making sure that we have safe drivers on the road when you have 7 people out every single day. Especially on a day like today, it's raining in San Diego. It's super important to be able to know where your employees are and where your assets are on the road, and make sure everyone's safe out there.
Fantastic. Again, thank you so very much.
Oh yeah, thank you.